Life cycle of a retail options trader, at least for me. You find out about these things called options, and ask for the option trading application.
You get the package from Schwab, start reading the booklet they send you, think to yourself, NFW, am I ever gonna do that, and forget all about it.
5 years later, you ask for another package.
You read it, and try to memorize the difference between the put and call options, but they are so symmetrical, it's hard to keep them straight. But you bite the bullet, and fill out the application. You hear about covered calls, and how it actually reduces your risk owning stock that you already own, and think, I'm gonna do this. And you do it, and it works, and you're in love. Then somebody tells you, and you dismiss it as heresy, that selling a cash-secured put has exactly the same risk profile as a covered call. Then a market crash comes along, and you take very nearly the exact same beating you would have owning the stock outright without the short call. And you hurt so bad. You take your beating and start to rethink your whole plan. You do a little research online, and you pay for and take an income trading with options class, and you learn about something known as iron condors.
You start trading them, and you're back in love again.
You're telling your friends how great they are, just complicated enough to confuse the less experienced folks, and it's easy money. 8. Another correction comes along, and you realize the beating you're taking reminds you of a similar beating from a few years past. And you decide you've had enough, and go back to owning SPY for the long term because implied volume has gotten so low. You can't make any money anyway with iron condors. 9. You pay for and take another class, this time called Trading Butterflies for Income. This takes a lot more daily attention, but you've got time, and you learn about the concept called Greeks. You start trading SPX iron butterflies, and the market is range-bound, and you're making pretty good money. And you've learned how to adjust your trades. And you learn that sometimes the best you can do is try to break even because the market has decided it's no longer range-bound. You notice that you are losing money on the iron butterflies regularly, but making money on the debit call spreads. Also in this time frame, you learn about SPX beta-weighted delta, and realize how much crazy risk you have assumed in the past, and how gotten away with it. Also in your conversations with the option mentors, you learn they don't trade with iron condors themselves, but just teach them to folks who are too busy to watch their positions. 10. You decide to just buy the debit call spreads, and make the good money doing just that on SPX. SPX options are cash settled, and are European style, which means there are no early exercises. Another correction occurs, but this time the damage is minimal, because you limit how big these positions get. And these things get a tax break, which doesn't do me any good, because I trade them in an IRA. 11. The market starts getting really choppy, and no matter what you do, you go from big gains to big losses in a single trade, and using prudent risk management limits, kicks you out of a string of trades with losses. So you stop. And reflect. Now this is where this story should end, but since I'm storytelling. In October 2019, I had a couple $1,000s in net profits from various option trades during the year. And I used Thinkorswim, which has a feature called ThinkScript, which is a way to write your own code to make your own indicators. Years before this, I was in a free day trading chat room where we identified crap penny stocks making big moves in the morning and tried to scalp tiny profits during the day, which is a blast when it's working. Anyway, that ended when the chat room host people moved to another system, and decided to charge a fee to view it. But in October 2019, I wrote a script in TOS that would identify NASDAQ 100 stocks making new highs right at the end of the day, and watched them, and saw they were spiking in the first half hour of the next day, usually 2 to 3%. Not a big deal, but options can leverage that up. And I got this $2,000 laying around anyway, so I decide to use this house money to try to make a fast buck. I break it up into $3.600 trades, buying out of the money call options on stuff like TSLA, AAPL, and PYPL. And the first day, I make 20% on the $2,000 in the first 30 minutes of the day. Anyway, I'm no dummy, right? And I take the $2,400 and do it again, with similar results. And again, and again. By Christmas, I'm up to $6,000, and my kid is home, and I show him what I'm doing. Took the $6,000, $2,000 in 3 pieces, put the trades on, and made $2,000 by 20 minutes into the next trading day. So now I got 8K. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have all the money pretty soon. You're probably getting annoyed by how smart I think I am by now, but by April 2020, I turned that starting $2,000 into $40,000. I set up the next set of trades, and lost $2,500.
Okay, not good.
Not the first loss I've seen on a set of trades, but the biggest using my system. Set up another, and lost another $2,500.
Okay, I ain't that bright, but I'm seeing a trend here.
I stopped completely. And decide to paper trade my system for a while. And it completely stopped working.
For good. I even stopped watching it.